Coming up on this edition of Carolina Insider, USC is looking into changing the names of campus buildings named after racist people, but is the progress moving too slow? Plus, why a Gamecock baseball legend is apologizing after commentating a Carolina baseball game. But first, last time for last call, as South Carolina lifts COVID restrictions on bars and mass gatherings. Carolina Insider starts now. Hello, and thank you for joining us. I'm Amber Lipscomb. Our top story today, the race to vaccinate against COVID-19 is ramping up. South Carolina will enter Phase 1B of its vaccine rollout next week. Under the new phase, according to WLTX, half of all South Carolinians will now be able to get a shot, including some students. Some frontline workers and those with high-risk medical conditions can sign up for a vaccine appointment starting this coming Monday. Meanwhile, bars and restaurants right here in Columbia are now able to serve alcohol past 11 p.m. after Governor Henry McMaster lifted the last call restriction. For months, the state required bars in 5 points across South Carolina to move up last call, hoping to help prevent the spread of COVID-19. Now they can go back to business as usual, almost. You can still be fined for not wearing a mask. The governor also lifted the 250-person capacity restriction for mass gatherings. A commission looking into USC buildings named after people with racist pasts is making progress. They filled an interim report that narrows their focus to 17 of 70 possible buildings. The USC Presidential Commission on the University History says the Sims Residence Hall, Thomas Cooper Library, and Strom Thurmond Wellness and Fitness Center are all the list of targeted buildings. But some student organizations say the progress is simply too slow. The NAACP chapter here at USC recently urged decision makers to move faster because the current names don't create a welcoming campus environment.
The fact that I live in Sims Residence Hall and have to see that name every day makes me uncomfortable.
Officials say the final report will include recommendations for the university president and board of trustees. That's expected to come around July 1st. USC is condemning a Gamecock baseball great after comments he made while commentating a recent game. Kip Bouknight is Carolina's winningest player in history. He is a former pitcher and does analysis for the SEC network. Bouknight used a word widely thought to be offensive to those with special needs when describing player Wes Clark's hitting record. After apologizing during the game, Bouknight took to Twitter to say the comment, although not intentional whatsoever, was completely inappropriate. Local sports reporter Mike Uva says that he doesn't condone Bouknight's words, but says he is a good man. Mike Uva has also made headlines himself in recent weeks for what happened to him at Columbia area fast food restaurant. Here with that in this week's Soda City Scene is reporter Alli McCraw. Alli?
That's right, Amber. A wrong order turned into a viral fast food craze for Uva at a local Bojangles.
Hey, can I just get a Uva, please?
The Uva, a Cajun filet topped with pimento cheese, mistakenly put on a Bowberry biscuit from Bojangles, has taken South Carolina and now over 9 states in the U.S. by storm. The biscuit is named after Mike Uva, local Watchbox sports reporter. However, this concoction was far from his actual order.
And I decided to head on over there, got the Cajun filet with pimento cheese, and the next thing I know, they give it to me, but it's on a Bowberry biscuit. And my first reaction was, that thing just looks nasty. There's no way I'm going to have it.
But then, he posted a picture of the mistake on Twitter.
So at that point, people were like, well, how was it? Did you have it? And I didn't want to wimp out, so decided to have it. And surprisingly, it was really good, and it took on a life of its own after.
However, Bojangles' social media manager, Alli Papajohn, said that Bojangles is experiencing its round of first as well.
I think turning something in a true mistake into something bigger might be a first for us. I might be wrong, but as far as I know, that is a first for us.
At this point, Bojangles has even created a commercial for the biscuit, as it has received over 850,000 impressions on social media. It's reached over 500 miles to Tyler Griever, a native of Louisville, Kentucky.
And they're like, oh my God, we've been getting like a company email about this. We know exactly what you're talking about. And I'm like, that's wild to me. that like you guys know about this.
As we're doing this interview, someone just tagged me in another one, saying that, you know, here's a picture. So I mean, it's one of those things. I'm just having fun with it, and I think if anything, I mean, you know, I didn't invent the wheel. This thing literally fell into my lap through a delivery window.
But sometimes
You got to risk it for the biscuit.
That's it for this week's Soda City Scene. Back to you, Amber.
Thanks, Alli. That's it for this edition of Carolina Insider, a student production here in the Kennedy Greenhouse studio in the School of Journalism and Mass Communications. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you back here tomorrow.